Ever felt that little twinge of curiosity about who's been peeking at your Venmo activity? You're not alone. In a world where digital transactions are increasingly transparent, it's natural to wonder about the visibility of your financial footprint. We share snippets of our lives online, from what we ate for lunch to grand vacation photos, but what about our spending habits? Does the digital handshake of a Venmo payment come with an audience? Think about it. You just split the bill for that amazing dinner with friends, sent a little something to a family member for their birthday, or maybe even sold that vintage lamp to someone locally. These transactions, while seemingly private between you and the recipient, exist within a social payment platform. Venmo, with its feed of transactions and social interactions, blurs the lines between personal finance and public sharing. This brings us to the heart of the matter. Can others actually see your Venmo transactions? And more importantly, can you see who's been looking? It's a valid question, touching on privacy, security, and the very nature of how we interact with financial technology. Before we dive into the specifics of who can see what, let's take a quick tour of Venmo's privacy settings. Understanding these settings is crucial because they are the primary control you have over the visibility of your transactions. Venmo offers three main privacy settings for individual transactions. Public. This setting means your transaction will appear in the public feed, visible to anyone on Venmo, even if they aren't your friends. The details visible typically include your name, the other party's name or username, the date, the general description of the payment, like pizza emoji or rent, and any accompanying note. The amount of the transaction is not publicly displayed. Friends. Choosing this setting limits the visibility of your transaction to your confirmed friends on Venmo. They will see the same details as in the public setting, names, date, description, note, in their friend's feed. Again, the transaction amount remains private. Private, this is the most restrictive setting. When you mark a transaction as private, it is only visible to you and the other person involved in that specific transaction. It will not appear in any public or friends' feeds. It's important to note that these settings can be adjusted on a per-transaction basis before you complete the payment or request. You can also set a default privacy setting for all your future transactions in your Venmo settings. Now, with this understanding of privacy settings in place, let's circle back to our main question. Can you see who viewed your Venmo transactions? The short answer, and perhaps not the one you were hoping for, is no. Venmo does not currently offer a feature that allows you to see a list of users who have viewed your past transactions, regardless of the privacy setting you chose. Think about it from a technical and privacy standpoint. Tracking and displaying everyone who views a transaction, especially public ones, could generate an enormous amount of data. Furthermore, it could raise its own set of privacy concerns for the viewers. Would you want everyone you've ever looked up on Venmo to know you did? Probably not. So, while you can control who can see your transactions based on your chosen privacy settings, you cannot see who has actually viewed them. This might leave you with some follow-up questions, such as, if I set my transactions to public, how many people could potentially see them? The answer is anyone on Venmo and potentially even people who don't have a Venmo account but might stumble upon the public feed through web searches or other means. If I set my transactions to friends, can my friends of friends see them? No, the friend setting restricts visibility to only your direct, confirmed connections on Venmo. Does Venmo notify me if someone interacts with my public transaction, like liking or commenting? Yes, if your transaction is public and someone likes or comments on it, you will receive a notification. This is a form of interaction, but it still doesn't tell you everyone who simply viewed the transaction without engaging. It's also worth considering the social aspect of Venmo. While the transaction amount is private, the descriptions and interactions can offer glimpses into people's lives. This is part of what makes Venmo unique. It's not just a payment app, it has a social layer. This social feed, however, is also the area where your privacy settings become most critical. If you're concerned about who might be seeing your transactions, the most effective course of action is to carefully manage your privacy settings. Here are some best practices to keep in mind. Review your default privacy setting. Go into your Venmo settings and check what your default transaction privacy is set to. If you prefer more privacy, ensure it's set to friends or private. Adjust privacy per transaction. Before sending or requesting money, take a moment to select the appropriate privacy setting for that specific transaction. If it's a personal payment between close friends, friends might be suitable. If it's more sensitive, opt for private. Be mindful of your notes. The description you add to a transaction is visible to the audience you've selected. Avoid including overly personal or sensitive information in these notes. Review your friends list. Periodically review your Venmo friends list and remove anyone you no longer know or trust. This is particularly important if you use the friends privacy setting frequently. Limit public transactions. If you're concerned about broad visibility, try to limit the number of transactions you make public. Consider if there's a real benefit to sharing a particular payment with everyone on the platform. While the inability to see who viewed your transactions might seem like a drawback to some, it aligns with general privacy principles on many social platforms. The focus is usually on controlling who can see your content rather than tracking every single viewer. It's also important to remember that Venmo is constantly evolving. Features and privacy settings can change over time. Therefore, it's a good idea to periodically review your settings and stay informed about any updates the platform releases regarding privacy and visibility. You can usually find this information in the Venmo app's help section or on their official website. In conclusion, while the curiosity about who might be looking at your Venmo activity is understandable, the platform currently does not provide a way for you to see a list of viewers for your transactions. Your control lies in the privacy settings you choose for each transaction and your default settings. By understanding these settings and implementing best practices, you can effectively manage the visibility of your financial interactions on Venmo. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.